United States mission in Nigeria on Tuesday highlighted Nigeria's plummeting economy. In a startling post on X, the post referenced various media outlets, including a publication by the Africa Report titled "Nigeria's Ruling Class Splashes Billions on Government Houses." The report highlighted how governors lavished billions on building or renovating government houses despite the prevailing economic hardship in the country. It also noted that while President Bola Ahmed TINUBU asked Nigerians to endure the economic hardship resulting from his policies, the governors do not share in the sacrifice. The U.S. mission also shared groups on its official handle, eliciting a flurry of reactions. Let me take the tweet from the U.S. mission. They wrote, "While Nigerians are urged to endure economic hardship like labor pains, some governors are splurging billions on new government houses." They posted a link from the Africa Report. They also posted a quote from Budget Nigeria saying, Budget warns that instead of for agriculture, leaders prioritize buildings they barely used. And then there's another from Sislak Nigeria saying that there is more money, little accountability, and no priority. Such alleged lack of fiscal responsibility fuels inequality and erodes public trust. With the hashtag Transparency Tuesday. Have you been following U.S. mission? I mean, is this about the first time I'm seeing this hashtag Transparency Tuesday. They are not holding back. And I didn't understand why that tweet came out yesterday with the, that hashtag Transparency Tuesday, but I'll come to you. Let me take a tweet about a reaction. Some people might agree or disagree with Onyali Kalu, who wrote, "It's deeply concerning that the official social media handle of the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria appears to be amplifying narratives aligned with opposition parties, particularly through the promotion of content that consistently undermines the APC-led federal government and President Tinubu's administration. While we respect the sovereignty of nations and the principles of free speech, it is expected that foreign diplomatic missions operate with neutrality, especially in a sensitive and highly polarized political climate. Any perception of bias, intentional or otherwise, risks compromising the spirit of mutual respect and non-interference that guides international diplomacy. Nigeria's democracy must be left to Nigerians. We welcome constructive engagement from our international partners, but not in a way that could embolden domestic actors bent on destabilization under the guise of political opposition." I mean, that is a thought there. Do you like that? Okay.
Very beautifully expressed. Yeah. I think it encompasses it all. Yeah. There's several issues, but I think the main issue, that the biggest takeaway from this is, are we comfortable with any country that is outside of our borders, being this vocal with regards to criticizing a sitting government? I think governance, accountability, and all things surrounding are important conversations to have, but they should always be done within the realm of diplomatic. There's a reason why we call it diplomacy, because there's a certain tone that it has to take. And this coming on Twitter, it felt a little bit like an attack. Now, we know that the current American administration, Donald Trump's administration, does do things in a very non-traditional way. However, it is also always important as a diplomat of interfering, of instigating regime change, of doing what we call color revolutions, which is when they get involved with various NGOs and sectors of opposition to destabilize the nation. So that is of huge concern. Yes. And it also follows, if you remember, around Democracy Day, there was also a communique that was issued around freedom of speech and so forth, which embodied the rest of the diplomatic corps. At least the tone of that particular message had been more around the realms of the rule of law. But this one really felt extremely charged and opinionated. Is it true? Yes. The governors are enjoying a largesse as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. FAC allocations have gone sky high, and they're enjoying that. And we're not seeing a lot of developmental initiatives from it. It's correct. However, this is not how we would expect a diplomatic mission to comment on the politics of the day. Diplomatic missions are always supposed to remain non-partisan.
As regards the American thing, see, we open ourselves up to the Americans to do all of this. Yes, I get your point totally about sovereignty. I also get your point that what they're saying is right, but we open ourselves up. Are we not the same Nigerians that are so quick to go and say, give them visa ban, politicians that are doing wrong in this country? Are we not the same Nigerians that are so quick to go and open our port down for them to be able to give us aid? Are we not the Nigerians that are so dependent on their aid? Is it today we know that America always interferes in global politics? Salvador Allende in Chile. Is it today that we know that America funded a national daily in Chile to be able to usurp Salvador Allende and supported the likes of Augusto Pinochet? Is it today we know? It's not today we know now. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. All the NGOs that you see that are cited, their budget and all of that, is it today we know that NGOs get funding from American governments? So let's stop deceiving ourselves. That's why we say for us to be a sovereign nation, we must start with credible, sensible leadership. A leadership that caters to his own people. A leadership that does not disgrace his own people. When they get a lot of money, they go and build government houses.
Right.
A leadership that invests in the welfare of his own people. So that's where we should start from. It's not today America has been poke-nosing into the affairs of every government, and they will constantly poke-nose. Well, you know, in this country, when we had to wait for John Kerry to come and broker peace deal between Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan, are we not the ones constantly calling them for peace? Is it not the same political actors that are bringing them to meddle into our affairs if it favors them or it doesn't favor them?
Right.
So why are we surprised?
All right. Dr. Abati, your thoughts on
just
both?
to state a principle of international, customary international law. Article 41 of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, 1969, states the principle of non-interference in domestic affairs. And the whole idea of it is to ensure cordial and stable relations between missions operating in host countries. So what the United States has done will seem very unusual, because if you look at Article 2, Sub 4 and Sub 7 of the UN Charter, it also includes this prohibition of interference in domestic affairs. Also, that was the decision of the International Court of Justice in DRC versus Uganda. So that's the position of the law. However, you find countries violating it, and they run the risk of being declared persona non grata, because when you get involved in domestic affairs, about the very principle of diplomacy itself. However, some countries consider themselves superior countries, and that's why they go beyond the boundaries. And America, under President Trump, has been behaving like the superpower controlling the entire world. However, one caveat is that in that post, you see that they try to play safe by quoting Nigerian bodies. 6 lakh budget Nigeria. So it's as if they are providing a summary of public perception in Nigeria since they write diplomatic notes. In other words, the intelligence that these missions, that embassies, diplomatic missions that they rely on, is in fact provided by the local people themselves. And so you have a country where people are criticizing their government, they are demarketing their own country. If they want to write their diplomatic notes, their dispatches, they just summarize what Nigerians are saying. So if you take them to task, the other side of it is that, well, we're just reflecting public opinion. What they have said about transparency and accountability, I ask the question, is it true or false? Answer. It is true.
All right. All right. Your thoughts on Ubasani, quickly.
The National Assembly is a den of corruption by a gang of unarmed robbers. The National Assembly cabal of today is worse than any cabal that anybody may find anywhere in our national governance system, ganging up to intimidate and threaten the life of whistleblower is deplorable and undemocratic. Once when I was president, I asked outside auditors, both normal and forensic, to audit the account of the National Assembly. They frustrated it on the basis of separation of power. They claimed they had oversight responsibility for their corruption and nothing can be done. It is like asking a thief to watch over himself. Members of the National Assembly pay themselves allowances for staff and offices they do not have or maintain. Once you are a member, you are co-opted, and your mouth is stuffed with rottenness and corruption that you cannot opt out. What of the so-called constituency projects, which is a veritable source of corruption? These constituency projects are spread over the budget for members of the National Assembly, for which they are the initiator and the contractor directly or by proxy. And money will be fully drawn, with the project only partially executed or not executed at all.
The clerk of the committee, Mrs. Edith Aja, she approached me. She said, yes, the trend or the norm is that every month, every committee in the National Assembly, we are supposed to share the money. I said, how do you mean? She said, the money is usually shared. I, as the chairperson, I would, and that is what happens in all the committees in the National Assembly. I said, well, you know what? That money, if it's meant to service the operations of the committee, it's not meant to enrich my pockets. It's not meant to enrich the pockets of the staff. I would not want to collect this so-called impress. So I would advise that you keep that money in the account and we build the money, we use it for whatever it's needed. If we have to buy office equipment, print stationaries, then we use that money. And I promise this, and the bank statement is here. It's the Sterling, it's an account under the name Senate Committee on Local Content, and the account is with Sterling Bank, and the account number is 00662082209. And when I resumed as chair of the committee, the account balance was 0.
Okay, my subscriber, welcome back. Please, if you have not subscribed, please do wait to subscribe to this channel. There's another reaction we have concerning this Bombshell. One of the reactions say, this is not an interference, but speaking the truth, Nigeria are suffering while most of their politicians are living like kings. Example of this politician is Winky using billions to renovate a building. The presidents are using trillions to construct a coastal road while other roads are being unpassable. Yes, this person is actually right. Presidents are using billions to construct roads, coastal highway, interstate road, they call it interstate road, whereas the other road that have been put in place are left behind, have been abandoned. If you are going to a place like Calabar to maybe Obubra, a place that was supposed to be 2 hours journey is now 7 or 8 hours journey due to the road. The road is very bad. Vehicles falling, accident here and there. But our politicians cannot see this, and that's why the USA is telling the politicians the truth that they spend money, they lavish money without knowing what they are using to do. They return back to come and have aid from them. Yes, they are right, because our politicians, they spend money, they lavish money unnecessarily. You see someone at UK bragging, this is my own state, or TINUBU saying that I must win this election because he know that he has collected the money a lot, he has steal money a lot from the lower grassroots to enrich himself, leaving Nigeria left behind with any other thing. This country, we are suffering. I and you are suffering. The politicians are there lavishing money, sending their children to abroad to study, to have good education. Why can't they just use this money? Nigeria, we are rich. The country is rich, but our politicians are not using. They are using the money to enrich themselves alone. Why can't they use this money to develop school, infrastructure? They develop good road, good hospitals. But here today, if any president is sick, they will fly him abroad to go and have good quality treatment. But leaving all these things, are we not supposed to have all these aids in Nigeria? Are we not supposed to have all these facilities in Nigeria? None of the politicians, their children is schooling here in Nigeria. But we that we are schooling here in Nigeria, our parents, our lecturers are being paid little stipend of money. They are being paid money that they cannot even feed their family. In this current generation, today if you are paying a lecturer, a senior lecturer, 200,000, what would 200,000 solve in a month? The house has to pay, food is very expensive. They cannot even fuel their car again to even take to lecture hall. But one politician will be receiving, like House of Assembly member will be receiving 5 million every month without doing anything. No, the senator will be receiving 170 something millions outside their allowance. They're not even doing anything. The lower mass is suffering for them. They can't even put food in their mouth. I interviewed someone yesterday. He was saying for more than 2 days they have not eaten. But they are in this country and people are using money for their self, using Nigerian money. Our own money, oh. Me and you, our money, oh. What they use now, they go enrich themselves because you don't like think or say, hey, maybe me, maybe another person. Now my own turn to go because of they have the money. When the time comes, they'll use the money to confuse us. They'll use the money to confuse us to vote for them. At the end, they'll go and steal the money again, and after they want, they have already steal. So the US, they are saying the truth. Nigerian politicians are so stupid. They cannot use what they have to invest on Nigeria and make Nigeria a better country. You see, that's what I've been telling P2B this ticket, because P2B is, I call him like he's coming to transform Nigeria, but we Nigeria are not seeing this opportunity. Are not seeing this chance because of greed on us. We're not seeing this chance. We're not seeing this opportunity. So that's why today the USA are saying all this because they want Nigeria to know the truth. Let's go to another headline. One of the persons commented on the platform said, if Nigeria does not want international interference in their domestic matters, we should not borrow from international bodies to solve domestic problems. You see, upon all the money Nigeria have, Nigeria is capable of, sponsoring other countries. Because one, they are the most high-paid senators. Even USA said their senators are not any like Nigerian senators. Their presidency is not any like Nigerian president. They are the most high-paid senators. So if Nigeria, we have crude oil, we have natural resources, we have cocoa, we have rice, we have maize. In fact, we have natural sun green light that can produce crop for us. We have honey, we have salt. But our people, our politicians will store all these things and take it abroad. Our crude oil, they will take it abroad to refine it for us to buy in a very high amount of money. Something we have on our own circle, something we can produce ourselves, but they will take it to outside the country and refine it and bring it back to us for us to buy it in a very high price. So, by so doing, after all this, one person will steal billions, trillions to his own pocket, and Nigeria will end up to go and borrow money to come and settle in domestic needs, and they still see that money that they went to go and borrow to come and settle in more Nigeria. This country, I swear, the country, now country with this. If we the youth, the upcoming youth, our parents are not seeing this thing, what achievement do you have behind to give to your children? What are you leaving behind to teach your children? Because you are spoiling the future. You are eating the future and also eating the future of the young ones. Yes. So we the youth, the upcoming people, we have to stand up and stop all this nonsense. Yes. We should stop all this nonsense, because all those old men, 80s, what did they have from 80 or 70, what did they have to offer to Nigeria? Let's bring capable people that can transform this country for a better nation. Now, another reaction from the comment, it says, yes, the federal government may be risking or spending without taking care of citizens, but the truth remains our federal system has failed Nigeria completely. Yes, federal government will be spending money. We brought them in to go and help us to speak for us. They will give them constituency allowance to come and repair the road. They will eat it up for themselves. They won't do anything. If you go down in the house, you see they are on AC. They're chicken. You will not count food that they're eating. But here, the lower masses are still here. The grassroots rooters who gave them power to win the election are here suffering. Look at flood everywhere. I went for an inspection in Crossing State. You see, flood have eaten everywhere. The people don't even have food to eat. Like one woman I interviewed, he said for more than 2 days now, he has not eaten anything. There's no food for him to eat for more than 2 days now. No food, nothing. So I have to use my own money. I gave the woman out. I gave her money to go and use and help herself. So the masses are suffering. They are suffering. People are there. They have not eaten for the past 2 to 3 days. They're not eating. They don't have money. But here the politicians will be stocking money in the bank to use for an election and stock money again for the great grandchildren to come and use again. He said the US is always saying this. Another one said the US is always saying this because maybe they are not getting what was demanded to get from our government. And therefore, the policy of this dispensation does not favor them. Reason they are complaining, that's the reason they are complaining. I don't believe that. I know in every crude oil they take to USA to refine, they have percentage, that they have what they are giving to Nigeria and what the Nigeria president is receiving. Yes, that one's right, alright. That's why you see that the refinery that Dangote wanted to do in Nigeria, they have not given him crude oil to refine because he has not accepted their demand, what they should be getting from each crude oil that is being given to him. And again, it will stop them from enriching themselves because it's not refining in Nigeria. They will not get what they were supposed to get. That's why you see them fighting against it all the time. So, but someone like Donald Trump, this man wants every state to be independent, every country to be independent on its own. You have the resources. Why can't you just go and develop yourself? Yes, it's right. You want us to develop ourselves. Please subscribe to this channel for more truth. Stay tuned. Thank you. Subscribe.